Hello பசங்களா வணக்கம் and welcome to the world of human physiology. So இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போறது the continuation of body fluids in circulation. Okay, I'm going to take you deep into what is the human circulatory system, what is heart made up of, how does a heartbeat generate. அதெல்லாம் தான் இன்னைக்கு நம்ம செஷன்ல பார்க்க போறோம். It's going to be a very interesting session for all the bio lovers out there. So it will be done both in board exam point of view and NEET exam point of view. So do stay with me till the end of the session. We have Vati's top question. By the end of this session, 5 ரொம்ப சிம்பிளான questions கேட்கப்படும். Do test yourself immediately what you have learned. So வாங்க பசங்களா செஷனுக்குள்ள போலாம். Yes, so before I get into the session, I want everyone watching this session to like, share, subscribe and please do leave a comment, okay? So நம்ம இன்னைக்கு பார்க்க போறது the human circulatory system. We are going to discuss more about heart. Yes. So what is this heart? இதோட size என்ன? 12 centimeter கிட்டத்தட்ட இவ்வளோ இருக்கும். Okay? Yes. And it is 9 centimeter wide and 6 centimeter in thick. It weighs about 225 gram in female, okay, and in male it weighs about 300 gram pasangla. So these are the different dimensions of your heart. Okay, so ஒரு ஹார்ட்டோட சைஸ் இது சின்ன வயசுலேருந்தே கேட்டுட்டு வருவீங்க கரெக்டாக. இட்ஸ் a size of one's fist. ஃபிஸ்ட்னா என்ன? இதுதான் ஃபிஸ்ட். when I close all my fingers like this, the size of my heart is just this much. okay, நீங்கள் இமேஜின் பண்ணுற மாதிரி ரொம்ப பெருசாலாம் இருக்காது, ரொம்ப குட்டியாக தான் இருக்கும். அதோட வெயிட் என்ன? வெறும் 225 grams தான். okay, and that 225 grams weight heart is doing such marvelous function and that's why you and me are alive. yes or no? so அத பத்தி தான் இன்னைக்கு நம்ம செஷன்ல பார்க்க போறோம். எங்க வந்து இருக்குப்பா நம்ம heart is a hollow cone shaped structure located in the thoracic region. என்னோட மீடியா ஸ்டினம்னு இருக்கும் thoraxல, அங்க தான் என்னோட heart place பண்ணப்பட்டிருக்கு. and my heart is slightly towards the left side. இங்க பாக்குறீங்களா என்னோட heart எப்பவுமே அதுக்கு தான் உங்க left sideல தான் உங்களுக்கு heart beat கேட்கும். that is because my heart is placed slightly towards my left. okay, and that is why my left lung is bilobed, my right lung is trilobed. that is also one of the reason pasangla. okay, yes, it is enclosed in a double membranous protective sac like structure called pericardium. ரொம்ப முக்கியம். okay, so heart இன்னொன்னே cardiac மட்டும் இருக்காது, cardiac muscle மட்டும் இருக்காது, அதுக்கு ஒரு protection தேவை. அதுதான் நம்ம pericardium ன்னு சொல்றோம். okay, and this is your pericardium and this is your heart. okay, and the space between the pericardium and the heart is called as pericardial cavity. அந்த ஸ்பேஸ் வந்து நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்றோம் பசங்களா? pericardial cavity ன்னு சொல்றோம். இந்த pericardial cavityல வந்து ஒரு fluid இருக்கும். அந்த fluid பேரு pericardial fluid pasangla. so this pericardial fluid helps in absorption of shock. okay, it is going to help in protection, it is going to prevent friction. okay, so as you already know, heart is made up of cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle has two regions, the outer myocardium and the inner endocardium. so pericardium, myocardium and endocardium. okay, so இது வந்து உங்களோட visceral pericardium. okay, so I hope this is clear. இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்க போறது blood vessels of the heart. ஹார்ட்டுக்கு blood vessels தேவை கரெக்டா? ஸோ என்னென்ன மேம் blood vessel இருக்கு? you have first vena cava. ஸோ vena cavaன்றது 2 vena cava இருக்கு. ஒன்று வந்து superior vena cava, இன்னொன்று வந்து inferior vena cava. மேம் இது ஏன் ப்ளூ கலரில் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க? நம்ம ஹார்ட்லேயே அதே மாதிரி ப்ளூ கலராக இருக்குமா? கிடையாது பசங்களா. this blue color is just to indicate that they carry deoxygenated blood. the blood which is filled with carbon dioxide and very less oxygen is called as the deoxygenated blood. so this vena cava are veins. arteries and veins பத்தி இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நிமிஷத்துல பேசுறேன், ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. superior vena cava will carry deoxygenated blood from the superior parts of my body, from the parts above my heart. okay, அதே என்னோட inferior vena cava இங்க தெரியுதா? inferior vena cava will carry deoxygenated blood from the inferior parts of the body. okay, from the parts below my heart. okay, so both of them will be pumped into the right atrium. okay, so superior vena cava right atrium na, unga inferior vena cava also pumps blood into the right atrium. Okay, I'll talk about atrium and all a little later. Just now try to understand there are 4 important blood vessels. superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. இப்போ நம்ம pulmonary artery பத்தி பேசலாம். You have right pulmonary artery. இங்க பாத்தீங்களா? Right pulmonary artery, அதே மாதிரி left pulmonary artery இருக்கும். Right and left. Okay, so what is this right and left pulmonary artery going to do? They are going to carry the deoxygenated blood, okay, from the heart to the lungs. ஏன்னா லங்ஸ்ல தான் purification நடக்கும். Correct? So right pulmonary artery will carry it to the right lung, left pulmonary artery will carry it to the left lung. Simple. Okay, அதே மாதிரி pulmonary veins, they carry oxygenated blood from the right lung. இப்போ வந்து lungsல oxygenate ஆகும், correct? So அந்த blood has to be returned back to the heart. So they are going to carry to the lungs, from the lungs to the heart. Okay, so ma'am நீங்க என்ன சொல்றீங்க, arteries carry oxygenated blood தானே, நாங்க அப்படி தானே படிச்சிருக்கோம். ஆமா பசங்களா, arteries carry oxygenated blood only. There is an exception. Right pulmonary artery carries only deoxygenated blood, or simply pulmonary artery carries only deoxygenated blood. Okay, so pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. Okay, so இதுதான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். And you also have, similarly you have aorta. Aorta is the largest artery. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம் இங்க பாக்குறீங்களா, இதுதான் உங்களோட aorta. They are going to carry oxygenated blood to all my body parts. Okay, so left pulmonary artery enna pannom pasangala, it is going to carry deoxygenated blood from the heart to the left lung. Okay, right pulmonary, and you have a left pulmonary vein, it carries oxygenated blood from the left lung into the atrium. Okay, so simply speaking, you have 4 important blood vessels. You have vena cava, okay, pulmonary artery, then you have pulmonary veins, okay, and then you also have aorta. These are the 4 important blood vessels of heart. Okay, firstly vena cava la ethana type irukku pasangala, you have superior and inferior. So what do these vena cava do? They are veins. They carry DO blood. DO blood na enna? Deoxygenated blood to the heart. Okay, from the body to heart. Remember flow charts. You don't have to remember pages together. So pulmonary artery enna பண்ணுது? Pulmonary artery carries DO blood. DO blood na enna pasangala? Deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. From heart to the lungs. So idhula rendu vidham irukku, onnu vandu right, இன்னொன்னு வந்து left. Okay, so right and left romba important. Yeah, then you have pulmonary veins. So pulmonary vein enna, what it is going to carry? It is going to carry oxygen blood, O blood, okay, from the lungs to the heart. Okay, so idhillu rendu vidham irukku, right and left. All your confusions should be clear now. Okay, ipo nama I have the largest artery, that is my aorta. Aorta carries O blood. O blood na enna pasangala? Oxygenated blood, okay, from the heart to all my body parts. I hope all the 4 types are clear. So we have vena cava, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein and aorta. Okay, clear pasangla? Please do leave a thumbs up. We can continue now. Okay, புரிஞ்சுதா? This is all we did now. Now ஹார்ட்ன்றது, ஹியூமன் ஹார்ட்ன்றது ரொம்பவே இவால்வ் ஆன ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர். மெமேலியன் ஹார்ட், நாட் ஜஸ்ட் ஹியூமன் ஹார்ட், ஆல் மெமேலியன் ஹார்ட் ஆர் வெரி வெரி இவால்வ் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர். They have the upper 2 chambers. இந்த மேல இருக்க 2 சேம்பரை நம்ம ஏட்ரியம்னு சொல்றோம். இல்ல நான் ஆரிக்கல், I use the word auricle a lot than atrium. Okay, so இந்த ஏட்ரியம் கூட இன்னொரு பேர் என்ன? Auricle. Okay, so you have right atrium, left atrium. Okay, right ventricle, left ventricle. So always remember pasangla, the right side, in the right side இருக்குல எப்பவுமே it is going to carry DO blood, deoxygenated blood. That is why we are indicating it by blue color. Okay, my left side always carries O blood. What is O blood, pasangla? Oxygenated blood. Okay, let's try to understand what are the structures. Okay, so right atrium are thin walled, smaller in size, romba chinnadu compared to all the chambers. Okay, and receive deoxygenated blood returning to the heart. So you know your superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, they pump the blood into the right atrium. Okay, from the right atrium it will go to the right ventricle. Okay, right ventricle they are large, thick walled and pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs. So inga varum ipdi varum, correct? It will be pumped to the lungs. Okay, similarly this side, left atrium, they are thin walled, smaller in size and receive oxygenated blood from the lungs. Okay, always remember atria are smaller, ventricles are larger. Okay, then you have your left ventricle, they are larger and have the thickest wall. Kepanga exam la, which ventricle or which chamber of your heart has the thickest wall? It is your left ventricle. Okay, it pumps oxygenated blood to all the other body parts, and you can see how they are divided. They are all divided by septum. Okay, so inga pathingla evlo thicka irukku pathingla enoda left ventricle, very important. Okay, so these are the 4 important chambers of your heart. Okay, now we are going to talk about valves. Okay, ma'am, valves na enna romba important. They are going to prevent backflow of blood. Eppadi or gate irukku, eppadi or barrier irukku, okay, eppadi or jennal irukku, adhe mari your valves are going to prevent the backflow of blood. Okay, romba mukkiyamaana vishayam. So first you have atrioventricular valves. Appadina ennapa? It is a valve that is present between auricle and ventricle. Okay, so the valve that is present between auricle and ventricle is called as atrioventricular valve. Atria ku ventricles ku nadula irka valve. Okay, they are of 2 types. ஒன்று வந்து tricuspid, இன்னொன்று வந்து bicuspid. ஸோ நிறையா பேருக்கு இந்த கன்ஃபியூஷன் இருக்குது. எந்த சைட் மேம் tricuspid வரும், எந்த சைட் மேம் bicuspid வரும்? ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Tricuspid comes between right. Tricuspid எங்கே வரும்? ரைட் சைடில் வரும். ஓகே, bicuspid எங்கே வரும்? லெஃப்ட் சைடில் வரும். Okay, so this is your tricuspid valve that is present between your right atrium, okay, and right ventricle. Okay, and similarly your bicuspid is present between left atrium and left ventricle. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now the next one is semilunar valves. Ma'am, idu enga irukku ma'am? Semilunar valve, it is present between the ventricle. Rombo mukkiyam. Okay, it is present between the ventricle and their attached vessel. So the valve that is present between your right ventricle and your pulmonary artery, adu oru semilunar valve. Okay, similarly the valve that is present between your left ventricle and your aorta, inga onnu paakringla, inga onnu paatringla, that is very important. Okay, அதை வந்து நம்ம pulmonary semilunar valve ன்னு சொல்கிறோம், இது வந்து நான் aortic semilunar valve ன்னு சொல்கிறேன். ஸோ மொத்தத்துக்கு எத்தனை valve இருக்குது பசங்களா? You have 4 valves. Tricuspid, bicuspid, the semilunar valve, the pulmonary semilunar valve and the aortic semilunar valve. It's very important to understand. Okay, இப்போ tricuspid valve எங்க இருக்கு? Already சொன்னதா, they are present in between the right atrioventricular orifice. Orifice na, the place is called orifice. It is going to prevent the blood from moving from right ventricle into right atrium during ventricular contraction. Enoda ventricles contract agumbodhu blood vandu move avakudadu, correct ah? Backflow of blood agakudadu. They are going to protect it. Okay, and then you have pulmonary valve. I already told you. Okay, pulmonary valve enga irukku? It is present at the entrance of your pulmonary trunk. Okay, here you can see the pulmonary valve. Okay, so it is going to prevent the backflow of blood, okay, from the pulmonary trunk into the right ventricle. Enoda ventricles relax agumbodhu. Okay, then you have mitral valve. Ma'am, mitral valve na enna? Rombo mukkiyam. Your mitral valve, other name is bicuspid bicuspid valve. ரொம்ப முக்கியமா கேட்பாங்க, what is the other name of bicuspid valve? It is mitral valve. Where is it located? It is present in your left side. You can see here bicuspid valve. Okay, அது என்ன பண்ணும்? Prevents the blood from moving from your left ventricle into the left atrium during ventricular contraction. Okay, then you have aortic valve. You can see here aortic semilunar valve. Function, it is going to prevent the blood from moving from aorta into left ventricle during ventricular relaxation. Okay, so you see here bicuspid and tricuspid valve will prevent the backflow of blood during ventricular contraction, whereas your semilunar valve, that is your aortic valve and pulmonary valve, they prevent the backflow of blood during ventricular relaxation. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். This is the entire structure of your heart. Okay, already படிச்சதா. You have your superior vena cava, you have inferior vena cava. Okay, always start in one order. Then you have your superior and inferior vena cava will pump the blood into the right atrium. From the right atrium it goes into the right ventricle. So from the right ventricle it goes to the left pulmonary artery. This will be carried to the left lung. Correct? Adhe mari this will be carried. You have your right pulmonary artery. It will be carried to the right lung. Okay, then you have the oxygenated blood returning back via your pulmonary veins. So left pulmonary veins carries from left lung oxygenated blood. Adhe mari you also have your right pulmonary vein. I think they have not shown it here. It's okay. Yeah, so right pulmonary vein, it is going to carry from the right lung. Now you can see the oxygenated blood will flow from the left atrium to left ventricle, from the left ventricle into aorta. Avladha. Here you have semilunar valves and your என்ன சொல்றது atrioventricular valves, AV valves ன்னு சொல்லுவோம், bicuspid and tricuspid. Okay, very very important. Now we are going to talk about blood vessels pasangla, arteries, veins and capillaries. So you see here, understand here, arteries carry oxygenated blood. Okay, so these arteries when they reach the tissue kitta vandonne they branch into arterioles. Okay, now these arterioles further branch into capillaries. Okay, inga or tissue irukku vachukonga, edho or tissue irukku. Okay, what will happen? The oxygen will enter the tissue and the carbon dioxide will enter the blood vessels. Correct? Now these capillaries will now fuse into venules. The venules carry DO blood, deoxygenated blood. Now they join as veins and they enter as either your superior vena cava or inferior vena cava. It is very very important. மூணு விதமான blood vessel. இப்போ நம்ம arteries பத்தி பார்க்கலாம். So what are arteries பசங்களா? Arteries are very very strong. Okay, they are elastic vessel adapted for carrying blood away from the heart. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். And their pressure is high. Okay, they contain oxygenated blood. There is an exception except your pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery thavara ella arteries so they carry what kind of blood pasangla? Oxygenated blood. Their branches are called arterioles. Adoda kutti kutti branch vandu nama arterioles nu solrom. Okay, and veins, they carry blood towards the heart. They carry deoxygenated blood. Okay, and exception is pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein enna carry panno? O blood, oxygenated blood. So difference between arteries and veins is a very very important question in your board exam. Okay, so their smaller branches are called venules. Adoda kutti branch per enna pasangla? Venules nu solrom. Ipo capillaries. Capillaries na enna? They are the smallest diameter blood vessel. Okay, so what they are going to do? They are going to connect your arterioles to your venules. Okay, so they are the extensions of the inner lining of arteriole. They consist of a single layer wall. Ipo pasangla, idha enoda blood vessel na, the blood vessel is lined by a single layer of epithelium pasangla. இந்த single layer of epithelium தான் நான் வந்து endothelium ன்னு சொல்றேன். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். So what is endothelium? The epithelium that lines the blood vessel is called endothelium. Very very important. Okay, so shall we continue pasangla? Arteries, veins and capillaries is done. Okay, இப்போ conducting system of heart. And the heart la vandu heartbeat generate agudhu. I agree. But who is actually initiating that heartbeat? Okay. Yeah, ma'am, heartbeat agno. Heartbeat anadha pasangla the blood will be pumped. The blood will be pumped from the right ventricle into your lungs, and the blood will be pumped from your left ventricle to your aorta. Okay, heart வந்து ஒரு மியரான ஒரு பம்பிங் ஆர்கன் மட்டும்தான். there is no exchange of gases, there is no any other thing. அது ஒரு மோட்டர் மாதிரி. உங்கள் வீட்டில் எப்படி ஒரு மோட்டர் இருக்குது, அண்டர் கிரவுண்ட் மோட்டர், கரெக்டாக வாட் இட் இஸ் கோயிங் டு டூ, இட் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பம்ப் த வாட்டர் ஃப்ரம் த அண்டர் கிரவுண்ட் டேங்க் டு த ஓவர் ஹெட் டேங்க். அதே தான், அங்கே தண்ணிக்கு பதிலாக இங்கே பிளட், அவ்வளோதான். Okay, so there is, what is a function of this conducting system now? It is going to result in rhythmic contraction of the atria and ventricles. Okay, so my atria and ventricle will contract, relax, and as a result there is a heartbeat. Okay, so என்னென்ன இருக்கும்னா there will be nodal tissues, bundles and fibers. So இது மூணும் தான் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். So nodal tissues has both muscular and nervous character. So ma'am, இந்த nodal tissue na enna? It is a specialized heart muscle. Okay, அது ஒரு ரொம்ப ஸ்பெஷலான heart muscle. Okay, special heart muscle is called as nodal tissue pasangla. Hope we can continue now. That is why we call human heart as myogenic. The cardiac muscle illati heart function agadu. Okay, and that cardiac muscle is super strong, super active, that it doesn't get tired from the time it is born till the time we die. Okay, there is no fatigue at all. We call them as non-fatigue muscle. When does fatigue arise? When you don't take care of your heart well. Yes or no? Yes. There are two important nodal tissues. One is the sinoatrial node, which I call it as SAN. Okay, what is this SAN pasangla? They are specialized muscles which are present on the upper right corner. Idu unga right atrium na, upper right corner of your right atrium. That is where a heartbeat is generating. Enoda heartbeat anga da generate agudhu pasangla. Okay, so we call it as pacemaker, since the heartbeat is generated there. நிறைய பேர் வயசானவங்களுக்கு அந்த SA node வந்து functional ஆகாது. Okay, so what they do, they remove that SA node and they place an artificial pacemaker. Okay, why do we call this as pacemaker pasangla? Because it regulates heartbeat. So inga irundhu da oru potential develop avum, inga irundhu da oru energy develop avum for the heart to contract and relax. Okay, next we have AV node. AV node na enna pasangla? It is right ventricular node. Right opposite, enoda SA node ku opposite ah enoda ventricle kitta irukka oru node da, it is my AVN node or atrioventricular node. Okay, so next we have, these are the two nodal tissues. Okay, nodal tissues edhu SAN and AVN. Okay, next you have bundles and fibers. So in the bundles and fibers la modala varadhu atrioventricular bundle or AV bundle nu solluvaanga. Okay, so arising from AVN, unga AVN irukla, AVN la irundhu paakringla oru bundle varudha. Okay, and this bundle separates into right branch and left branch. Okay, so each branch passes through the ventricular walls of its side. ரொம்ப முக்கியம். AV bundles in ventricular walls breaks into minute fiber. This bundle breaks into minute fiber. Okay, and these fiber along with the bundles is known as bundle of His. Okay, இந்த ஃபைபர் பேர் என்ன? Purkinje fiber. சில பேர் Purkinje வாங்க, சில பேர் Purkinje வாங்க. Both are absolutely correct. So we have your Purkinje fibers. So all these together, your Purkinje fiber and your bundle, we call it as bundle of His. Okay, நான் சிம்பிளா சொல்லி தரேன். So imagine this is your heart. Okay, so you have your right atrium. Here you have your SAN. இது என்னது பசங்களா? Sinoatrial node. Okay, right opposite to my sinoatrial node, I have my AVN, atrioventricular node. Okay, now this AVN will now come out as a AV bundle. Correct? This AV bundle will split into right AV bundle and left AV bundle. Okay, now this bundle will now give rise to small fibers. correct? So இது என்னது? இது AV bundle. Okay, இது என்னது? It is my left AV bundle. I hope all of you are getting it. Okay, so இது என்னது பசங்க? இது வந்து உங்க right AV bundle. Okay, so இது என்ன? இந்த fiber like structure என்னது? It is Purkinje fiber. Purkinje fiber. Okay, so the right AV bundle and Purkinje fiber together we call it as bundle of His. So நிறைய பேருக்கு இந்த confusion இருக்கு. Ma'am, bundle of His na என்ன? Purkinje fiber na என்ன? I hope it is clear. So bundle of His. Okay, so this entire thing is called as the conduction of heartbeat or the conducting system. Conducting system. So conducting system la enna irukku pasanga? Modalla nodal tissues. So which are the two nodal tissues you guys are learning? One is SAN, sinoatrial node. Other one is AVN, atrioventricular node. Simple. Okay, next enna padikringa? Fibers, bundle fibers. Bundle in எழுதிக்கலாம். What is a bundle? AV bundle. Okay, then you have fibers, which is called as Purkinje fiber. Okay, that's it. You're done. So, இப்போ என்ன நடக்கும்னா பசங்களா, that is very important to understand. இப்போ ஒரு action potential இந்த இடத்துல generate ஆகும். That SAN is getting activated. Okay, so ஒரு action potential generate ஆகும். ஒரு charge develop ஆகும். Okay, that charge is passed from the SAN to AVN. இப்போ AVNலயும் அந்த charge develop ஆகுது. Okay, இந்த AVN என்ன பண்ணோம்னா, it is going to pass that action potential. எல்லா பக்கமும் pass பண்ணும். Okay, pass பண்ணும்போது என்ன ஆகும்? Your muscles there get activated. The ventricular muscles get activated and they are going to contract. Okay, so this is called conducting system. So enna, what is the whole function? It causes ventricular contraction. Rombo rombo mukkiyamaana vishayam pasangla. Okay, clear? Are all of you clear with what is happening here? This is your conducting system of your heart. Yes. So we finish this. இதுதா நான் சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். SA node to AVN, from AVN to branches of your atrioventricular bundle and then your Purkinje fiber. And this is going to cause ventricles to contract, ventricular contraction. Okay? Yes. இப்போ நம்ம cardiac cycle பத்தி பார்க்க போறோம். We are going on to very important 5-mark question. What is cardiac cycle? It refers to the sequence of events that takes place when the heart beats. Okay, joint diastole, atrial systole and ventricular systole. So முதல்ல diastole na enna? Diastole na relaxation. So எல்லாருமே இந்த chat section la போடுங்க, comment section la போடுங்க. Okay, systole na, it is contraction. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். Systole and diastole. Okay, diastole is relaxation, systole is contraction. So joint diastole na enna? Both my atrium and ventricle will relax. Okay, what is atrial systole? My upper two chambers contract. So this is atrial systole. Ventricular systole, my lower two chambers will contract. Okay, so இதுதா cardiac cycle. The cardiac cycle lasts for 0.8 seconds. ஒரு cardiac cycle வந்து 0.8 seconds க்கு last ஆகும். So one cardiac cycle is equal to 1 heartbeat. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். 1 heartbeat. Okay, and every cardiac cycle you will have some amount of blood that is pumped, which we will discuss. Okay, 70 ml, which we will discuss. இப்போ பார்க்கலாமா? joint diastole na enna பார்க்கலாமா? It is a relaxed state. நாலு சேம்பர் கொஞ்சம் ஒரு fraction of a second ன்னு சொல்வாங்கல, அந்த செகண்ட்லயும் fraction. கரெக்ட்டா? So it is a relaxed state of all your heart chambers. Okay, இங்க என்ன நடக்குதுன்னா ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Your tricuspid and bicuspid valves are open. okay, உங்க tricuspid valve ஆகட்டும் உங்க bicuspid valve ஆகட்டும், they are open. So open ஆகும்போது என்ன நடக்கும் பசங்களா? Blood flows from pulmonary vein and vena cava flows into left and right ventricle. ரொம்ப easy பசங்களா. உங்க vena cava லந்து your blood will flow into right atrium, correct? Now this valve is open, tricuspid is open, so it will go into the right ventricle. Okay, adhe mari your pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood, correct? That is reaching your left atrium. Now my bicuspid valve is open, it is going to go into the left ventricle, correct? adha inga solliட்டு இருக்காங்க. And semilunar valves are closed. நீங்க ஒரு விஷயம் புரிஞ்சுக்கணும் பசங்களா, நாலு வால்வுமே ஒரே வாட்டி ஓபன் ஆகாது, ஒரே வாட்டி க்ளோஸ் ஆகாது. When my tricuspid and bicuspid valves are open, my semilunar valves are closed. Okay, so relax என்ன நடக்குது? Blood from the right atrium is entering your right ventricle and blood from the left atrium is entering your left ventricle. Okay, remember the semilunar valves are closed. Okay, yes. இப்போ systole, diastole முடிஞ்சிருச்சு, right? They are relaxation முடிஞ்சிருச்சு, வாங்க வேலை பண்ணலாம்னு சொல்லி they just generate an action potential. So who is generating an action potential? SAN, your sinoatrial node. இங்க பாக்குறீங்கல்ல, sinoatrial node is generating an action potential. Okay, அப்ப என்ன நடக்குது? என்னோட upper two chambers வந்து contract ஆகும், என்னோட atrioventricular valves open ஆகும். Right, in the previous case also it was open, here still it is contracting. Appo the blood flow will increase. Okay, so the blood flows into the respective ventricles. இங்க பாக்குறீங்களா ஒரு yellow color structure, the sinoatrial node activate ஆகுது, இது activate ஆகுது. It's a quick image here and it lasts 0.1 seconds. Atrial systole எவ்வளவு செகண்ட் இருக்கு? 0.1 செகண்ட் இருக்கு. Okay, while atrial diastole, இப்போ என்னோட ventricles வந்து contract ஆகும்போது என்னோட atria வந்து relax ஆகும், that lasts for 0.7 second. So together it is 0.8. Okay, புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க பசங்களா. We finished the second step. The third step is ventricular systole. இப்போ atria வந்து contract ஆயிருச்சு, correcta? Now it is going to what is going to happen? The stimulation is passed from SA node to AVN. Okay, now AV node is going to pass its action potential to the AV bundle and my ventricles will contract. Okay, the pressure of the blood in ventricle rises then auricle. This is going to close my tricuspid and bicuspid valve to prevent the backflow of blood. இப்போ வந்து க்ளோஸ் ஆகிட போதும், நீ எனக்கு blood கொடுத்தது போதும்னு சொல்லிட்டு both the atria will be closed. Okay, so that is your ventricular systole and the semilunar valves are also closed at this time. Okay, when the pressure increases, when the pressure inside my ventricle increases, okay, idukku mela thaanga mudiyadunu solli the semilunar valves will open. Okay, and the blood goes into the pulmonary artery and the blood goes into the aorta. Okay, and this ventricular systole takes about 0.3 seconds. Okay, clear pasangla? இவ்வளவுதான். This is your entire cardiac cycle. Ventricular systole, okay, atrial systole and joint diastole. Okay, totally it takes exactly 0.8 seconds. Okay, heart sound. என்னோட heart soundல நீங்க stethoscopeல வச்சு கேட்டிருந்தீங்கன்னா it has two sounds, correct? You'll have the first sound that is lub, the second sound which is dub. Lub and dub. Okay, so the closure of semilunar valve, this is a very important question from NEET point of view pasangla. Sila per dub, it's fine. Okay, so it is going to be caused due to closure of semilunar valve. Okay, inga parunga, modalla enna nadakudhu, indha rendu valve close agudhu, that is going to cause lub. What is that? AV valves, that is your tricuspid and bicuspid valve. Okay, here you can see the semilunar valves are closed, that is going to cause the second sound dub. Okay, very important. Okay, ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம் இது. Yes, so both lub and dub together constitutes one heartbeat. Okay, now we are going to discuss about cardiac output. இது என்ன ma'am? Cardiac output na enna? It is a volume of blood. Okay, it is a volume of blood that is pumped from heart, that is basically your left ventricle. We are considering your left ventricle. Why? Left ventricle is going to pump oxygenated blood into the systemic aorta in 1 minute is called as cardiac output. The formula ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஒரு நிமிஷத்துக்கு ஓகே எவ்வளோ பிளட் என்னோட வென்ட்ரிகல்ஸ் பம்ப் பண்ணுதுன்றது தான் உங்களோட கார்டியாக் அவுட்புட். Okay, so it is calculated by a formula called stroke volume into the rate of heartbeat. Okay, so முதல்ல நான் உங்களுக்கு stroke volume னா என்னன்னு சொல்றேன். Okay, stroke volume is the amount of blood that is pumped out each cardiac cycle. ஒரு cardiac cycle. Okay, எப்படி எழுதலாம்? Blood pumped in each cardiac cycle. Okay, so what is that value? This is again a very important question from your NEET point of view and from your board point of view also. It is 70 ml. Cardiac output எவ்வளோ பசங்களா? 70 ml. Okay, and how many times your heart is beating per minute? It is 70 to 72 times. இங்க 75 ன்னு எடுத்திருக்காங்க. Okay, so you have, when you multiply stroke volume into rate of heartbeat, it is given by 5250 ml per minute. Okay, so 5 liter நம்ம உடம்புல இருக்கதே 5 liter of blood தான். So every minute your heart is pumping 5 liters of blood, which is equal to the amount of blood that's present in your body. See how fascinating is this? எவ்வளோ அழகா நடக்குது பாருங்க உங்க பாடியில. Okay, yes. Now, ECG, ரொம்ப முக்கியமான question. What is ECG? It is a graphic record of electric current produced by the excitation of cardiac muscle. அந்த SAN, AVN, ma'am என்ன ஹார்ட்ல கரண்ட் இருக்குமா? இருக்கு பசங்களா. That's called the action potential. Okay, but it is not very high like in your normal electricity. It's a very mild one which is absolutely needed for your heart to beat. Okay, so it is used to record is called echocardiograph. Okay, so the father of echocardiograph is Enthoven. He was also awarded Nobel Prize in the year 1924 for his discovery of ECG. இதுதான் உங்களோட ECG. Okay, you have P, Q, R, S, T. Okay, so இப்படி வரது first P wave வரும். Okay, அதுக்கப்புறம் you have your Q, R, S. Okay, then you have your T wave. This is P, this is Q, this is R, S and T. இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய segments இருக்கு. Okay, so you have your seconds and you have your millivolts on the other end. So what does each of them basically represent ன்றது ரொம்ப முக்கியம். So முதல்ல P wave. Okay, இந்த P wave ன்றது என்னது? This is again a very important question பசங்களா. இப்படி ஸ்லைட்டான ஒரு upward curve இருக்குல்ல, அதுதான் நம்ம P wave ன்னு சொல்றோம். It basically denotes electrical excitation or atrial depolarization. Depolarization na enna? Contraction. Okay, it leads to the contraction of your atria caused due to the activation of SA node. inga parunga SA node vandu adoda potential generate பண்ணுது. அப்ப என்ன ஆகுது? Both my atria is contracting. The contraction starts from SA node and spreads throughout the atria, and as a result the atria is contracting. Try to understand this. Okay, P wave represents what pasangla? Atrial contraction. Okay, it is going to represent atrial contraction. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். இப்போ நம்ம next பார்க்க போறது இந்த QRS complex. So what is this QRS going to represent? Okay, so this QRS represents QRS. இது எப்படி இருக்கு பசங்களா? You have your Q, you have R and you have S. இப்படி வருது கரெக்டா? Q வந்து இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் மேலேயே இருக்கு, S வந்து கொஞ்சம் கீழே இருக்கு. Right? So this is going to, it's a triangular wave. It's a triangular wave. Triangle shape la irukka? So we call it as a triangular wave. It represents ventricular depolarization. Abdina enna? It is going to represent ventricular contraction. Very, very important from NEET exam point of view. ECG. Okay, since you are all, இப்போ NEET exam எழுதுனா நீங்க டாக்டர்ஸ் ஆவீங்க, உங்களுக்கு இந்த விஷயம் கண்டிப்பா தெரியணும். Okay, next we have T wave. Okay, T wave என்றது ஒரு டோம் மாதிரின வேவ். இங்க பாருங்க, இப்படி டோம் மாதிரி. So what does this represent? It represents ventricular repolarization. Ma'am, அங்கெல்லாம் D இருந்துச்சு, இங்க ஏன் re இருக்குன்னா, here the ventricles are going to relax. சும்மா அவங்க ரிலாக்ஸ் ஆவாங்க. Okay, so what does this represent பசங்களா? Ventricular relaxation. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். Okay, very important. And this T wave marks the end of your systole. Okay, yes. இப்போ நம்ம double circulation, again important 5 mark question. So you know human circulation is called double circulation. Yeah ma'am, நம்ம double circulation னு சொல்றோம்னா because my blood enters the heart twice. ரெண்டு வாட்டி enter ஆகும். ஒன்னு வந்து systemic, இன்னொன்னு வந்து pulmonary. So what is systemic, what is pulmonary? Systemic circulation is nothing but the circulation between my heart and my body parts. Okay, pulmonary circulation is nothing but the circulation between my heart and lungs. Okay, simple ah solnona modala nama pulmonary circulation பத்தி பார்க்கலாம். ரொம்ப simple. Pulmonary circulation, pulmonology na enna, it is a study of lungs, so you can remember it like that. It is a circulation between your lungs and the heart. Okay, so blood circulation starts from right atrium and ends at left atrium, correct? So from right atrium blood is pumped into the right ventricle. I will use another color, maybe green. Okay, from right atrium it passes here. Okay, it goes to the right ventricle, correct? From right ventricle it is passed to your lungs. In the lungs it gets oxygenated, the deoxygenated blood gets oxygenated, correct? Again what is happening? The oxygenated blood enters via your pulmonary vein from your left atrium into your left ventricle. இதுதான் நம்ம வந்து pulmonary circulation னு சொல்றோம். Okay, so the deoxygenated blood enters your lungs, it gets oxygenated, it is pumped back into your heart. So this is what we call it as what pasangla? Pulmonary circulation. Okay, next we have this is இதுதான் உங்களோட pulmonary. இங்க பாருங்க clear-ஆ சொன்னதுதான். You have right ventricle, deoxygenated blood is carried by a pulmonary artery into the lungs. From the lungs it goes to your pulmonary vein where it is oxygenated and it enters your left atrium. Okay, next we have systemic. Systemic na enna? It is a circulation between my body and my heart. Okay, என்னோட பாடி பார்ட்ஸுக்கும் என்னோட ஹார்ட்டுக்கும் இருக்க சர்க்குலேஷனை தான் நான் சிஸ்டமிக் சர்க்குலேஷன் சொல்கிறேன். என்ன நடக்குது பசங்களா சிஸ்டமிக் சர்க்குலேஷனில்? யூ see the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle is pumped into the aorta. Follow the arrows. Okay, from the aorta it goes into the body parts via systemic arteries. Systemic arteries na enna? The arteries that supply blood vessel to your body parts are called systemic artery. Okay, so they are now going to reach your body. Okay, in the body there is exchange of gases. Okay, because in my tissues I have more of carbon dioxide, less of oxygen, so there will be diffusion. Okay, now that deoxygenated blood is carried by your vena cavas, superior and inferior vena cava. They are pumped into right atrium and then your right ventricle. Okay, இதுதான் நம்ம systemic circulation னு சொல்றோம். இந்த flow chart இருக்குல, where is that flow chart? If you remember this flow chart, you are done. Okay, so now what is happening pasangla? The superior and inferior vena cava passes it to right atrium. Idu full oxygenated agudhu. Okay, the oxygenated blood enters your left ventricle and then it goes to aorta. Aorta is the largest artery. From aorta it goes to arteries. Okay, the arteries supply oxygenated blood to the tissues. Okay, and then from there what happens? The deoxygenated blood is collected in the form of veins. Adukapro you have your superior and inferior vena cava that is going to carry your entire deoxygenated blood. So in the circulation oda function pathina, it helps in exchange of gases. Moda vishayam. Second, transport of substances. Unga food oru cell ku ponum. Unga hormones, they have to go and reach their target cell. So everything is happening via your systemic circulation. It has very great importance. ரெண்டுமே முக்கியம் தான். Systemic circulation க்கு ஒரு additional function இருக்கு. So this is what you mean by double circulation பசங்களா. Important 5 mark question. This is your NCERT picture. So இங்க என்ன பார்க்கறீங்கன்னா arteries and veinsல artery is thicker. Correct, because it has a muscular layer there. Veins are thinner. Okay, this arrows you guys should follow. நான் சொன்னதே தான் இங்கே சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஓகே, வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் 5 மார்க் கொஸ்டின். ஸ்கீமேட்டிக் ரெப்ரசன்டேஷன் ஆர் பிளான் ஆஃப் பிளட் சர்க்குலேஷன் இன் ஹியூமன்ஸ். ஓகே, நவ் இதை தவிர there is something called as hepatic portal system. நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி you need blood vessels, you need blood to each and every nook and corner of your body. ஆமாவா இல்லையா? நம்ம எல்லாருக்குமே பிளட் தேவை, எல்லா பார்ட்ஸுக்கும் பிளட் தேவை. இட்ஸ் a unique vascular system that exists between, in the hepatic portal system is a unique vascular system that exists between digestive tract and the liver. Okay, that is what we call hepatic portal system. So in the hepatic portal vein enna pannona, it carries blood from the intestine to the liver before it is delivered to the systemic circulation. So inga parunga idu da ungaloda intestine. Okay, from the intestine it is carried to the liver and then to your enna solradhu heart. So this liver is a temporary storing organ appdi vechikalam. Okay, so hepatic portal system na onnu illa, romba simple. They are going to help in circulation in your digestive system. Idha thavara I have one special artery called coronary artery. Ma'am, coronary artery na enna? Romba simple. Enoda heart ivlo vela paakudhu, ivlo help pannudhu, adukku oxygen thevaiya illaya, right? Adukku circulation thevaiya illaya? That is what we call coronary arteries. The arteries that supply blood to the heart are called coronary arteries. Rombo mukkiyamaana vishayam. Okay, they are present in our body. They are exclusive, okay, to provide oxygen to the cardiac musculature. So in the coronary arteries la edach block aanada adha vandu nama coronary artery disease nu solrom. And you have veins, they are going to carry the deoxygenated blood. Okay, yes. Regulation of cardiac activity. Who is regulating? Now already sonna mari human heart is myogenic, okay, but I can increase or decrease my heartbeat based on my external factors. Okay, so you have SA node. SA node is the one which is regulating my entire heartbeat. I have another factors like autonomic nervous system, sympathetic nerves, parasympathetic nerve, chemical regulation, physical exercise. If now 5 kilometers odnana enna agum, my heartbeat will increase. If I do any physical work, my heartbeat will increase. Okay, yeah, that's very important. When I get excited, my heartbeat will increase. Okay, idha na sollitirundhen. ANS, autonomic nervous system. Medulla oblongata is responsible for ANS. So whenever your body is facing any kind of emergency situation, there will be the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve which gets stimulated. In the sympathetic nerves enna pannona, it is going to increase the blood pressure. As a result, the heart beats at a faster rate and you will have an increased cardiac output. Okay, now this parasympathetic nerves enna panno, they are going to bring back your body to your normal situation. So the sympathetic nerve will stimulate the synthesis of an hormone called adrenaline from your adrenal medulla, emergency hormone. Okay, இப்போ உங்க பாடி திருப்பி நார்மல் கண்டிஷனுக்கு வரணும்னா you will have another hormone called noradrenaline. Okay, so these both will be synthesized, very important. Okay, so parasympathetic stimulation reduces the contraction of atria and decreases the cardiac output. So excitation, and then you have to bring the body normal to the normal situation. This you will be studying even more in detail in chemical control and integration. And you have other hormones, cortisol. Idu kuda neenga cortisol kuda add panikalam. Okay, they are all going to help in the functions of thyroid gland. Okay, very important. Now it already nama padichitom, regulation of cardiac activity. You have your ANS. Okay, medulla oblongata is going to activate your ANS. ANS have sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. Okay, yes. Disorders of circulatory system romba mukkiyam pasangala. Okay, modala high blood pressure. Okay, BP. So முதல்ல பிபினா என்ன பசங்களா, நிறைய பேருக்கு இப்பயே சொல்வீங்க எனக்கு ப்ரெஷர் ரொம்ப அதிகமாக இருக்குது, எனக்கு ரொம்ப டென்ஷன் ஆகுது. தட் இஸ் பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் திஸ் வி கால் இட் இஸ் ஹைப்பர் டென்ஷன். ஓகே, யூஷுவலாக தெர் இஸ் அன் இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட் கால் ஸ்பிக்மோமேனோமீட்டர் டு ஆக்சுவலி ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் யோர் பிபி. எல்லாரும் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க கரெக்டாக. ஸோ இட் வில் ஷோ 120 to 80. எவ்வளோ இருக்கணும் பசங்களா? 120 to 80. இந்த 120ன்றது என்னதுன்னா இட் இஸ் அ சிஸ்டோலிக், மீன்ஸ் உங்கள் ஹார்ட் வந்து கான்ட்ராக்ட் ஆகும் போது இருக்க ப்ரெஷர் 120. ஓகே, 80ன்றது டயஸ்டோலிக், உங்கள் ஹார்ட் வந்து ரிலாக்ஸ் ஆகும் போது. ஸோ இட் இஸ் யூனிட் இஸ் mmHg. per hg எல்லாம் இல்லை, mmHg இஸ் த யூனிட். ஓகே, இப்போ இதே ப்ரெஷர் 140/90 or above for a long time. ஒரு நாள் இருந்துட்டு அடுத்த நாள் ப்ரெஷர் கம்மியாக இருந்தால் அது வந்து ஹைப்பர் டென்ஷன் சொல்ல மாட்டோம். ஸோ ஒரு நாள் மேபி உங்களுக்கு ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் அதிகமாக இருந்திருக்கலாம், உங்களுக்கு வேலை அதிகமாக இருந்திருக்கலாம். ஓகே, சம்திங் இஸ் பாதரிங் யூ அட் தட் டைம் த ப்ரெஷர் மைட் பி மோர். பட் அதே ப்ரெஷர் கண்டினியூஸாக நிறையா நாள் மேபி ஃபார் 2 or 3 weeks இருந்துச்சுன்னா அதை வந்து நம்ம ஹைப்பர் டென்ஷன்னு சொல்லுவோம். திஸ் ஹைப்பர் டென்ஷன் இஸ் நாட் அ ஜோக் பசங்களா. நிறையா பேர் இந்த ஹைப்பர் டென்ஷன் இருக்கும், மெடிசன் எடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. they will be clots in the brain. Okay, it can result in paralysis and it can result in death. ஓகே கிளாட்டிங் நடக்கும், ஹார்ட் அட்டாக் ஆகும். ஒரு 5 years 6 years blood pressure நீங்கள் கரெக்டாக ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் எடுக்காமல் இருந்தீங்கன்னா, I'm not joking, it can result in heart disease, kidney failure, okay, the diabetes, என்ன வேணா வரலாம். Okay, the next one is CAD, coronary artery disease. Okay, the coronary artery disease na, coronary artery na enna, they supply blood to your heart. Okay, so in the coronary artery la poi there is a deposition of some substance. Okay, ஏதோ இந்த substance எப்படி deposit ஆகுது. Okay, the deposition of substance in the coronary blood vessels is called as atherosclerosis. Okay, so என்ன மாதிரி substance deposit ஆகும்? Calcium, fat, cholesterol, fibrous tissue, which makes the lumen of the artery narrow and narrower. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்? The blood flow will decrease. அப்படி blood flow decrease ஆகும்போது என்ன ஆகும்? That part of your heart doesn't get enough oxygen. Okay, so that is what is your angina, heart attack. சொல்றாங்கல்ல, அதுதான் நம்ம anginaன்னு சொல்றோம். Okay, it is also called as angina pectoris. A symptom of acute chest pain appears when no enough oxygen is reaching the heart muscle because of atherosclerosis. Okay, atherosclerosis is the deposition of plaque-like substance. Okay, so from here it's very very interesting. எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியணும், ஏன்னா இப்போ எல்லார் வீட்லேயும் ஹார்ட் பேஷண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க கரெக்டாக, no matter what their age is. Yes, because heart diseases are very common, especially in India. Reasons வேணால் எக்கச்சக்கமாக இருக்கலாம். Lifestyle ஆகட்டும், no proper food, no proper sleep, anything. Okay, so it is very common among middle aged and elderly people. So ஒரு 15 years முன்னாடி எடுத்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா இந்த ஹார்ட் அட்டாக் ஆகட்டும், ஹார்ட் டிசீசஸ் ஆகட்டும் இந்த அளவு காமன் கிடையாது பசங்களா. இப்போலாம் 40 years 45 yearsலேயே நிறையா பேருக்கு ஹார்ட் டிசீஸ் வந்து இறந்துடுறாங்க, because they don't find out what they are actually having. Okay, the last one is heart failure. Heart failure na enna pasangla, the state where your heart is not having the ability to pump. It is not pumping your blood effectively, okay, to meet the needs of the body. It is sometimes called congestive heart failure. Unga heart vandu congest agum, and as a result it is going to cause congestion of lungs. Okay, so main symptom மூச்சு விட முடியாது உங்க heart failure இருந்துச்சுன்னா. Okay, heart failure is not the same as cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. Suddenly they will fall down and they will die. ரீசனே இருக்காது கார்டியாக் அரெஸ்ட்க்கு. உங்கள் ஹார்ட் ஃபெயிலியருக்கும் ஆன்ஜினாக்கும் ஒரு ரீசன் இருக்குது. உங்கள் லைஃப் ஸ்டைல் சரியில்லை, உங்களுக்கு ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ரீவியஸ் இல்னஸ் இருந்துச்சு அப்படி சொல்லலாம். ஆனால் கார்டியாக் அரெஸ்ட் யாருக்கு வேணால் வரலாம். ஃபார் எனி ஒன் இட் கேன் கம். For a normal person it can come. For a small boy, small girl, young boy, young girl, old boy, அதுக்கு வந்து இதே கிடையாது. So cardiac arrest, the heart stops beating. அவ்வளோதான், முடிஞ்சது. Okay, it will stop beating. It could be any reason. Okay, when the heart muscle is suddenly damaged by an inadequate blood supply. Okay, it's very very important. So ivladha pasangla, this is about your body fluids and circulation. Thank you so much. Hope you guys in the chapter வந்து யார் வேணா பார்க்கலாம். Okay, 10th தான் 11th தான் 12th தான் கிடையாது. Any one of you can watch this chapter. Even a normal non-bio student can also watch this chapter, because you guys need to know about heart. Okay, because there is a lot of என்ன சொல்றது cardiac diseases that's prevailing these days. Okay, thank you pasangla, thank you for decoding biology with me. Let's meet in yet another very interesting session tomorrow. Thank you.